In the headlines, gunmen kidnap 15 travelers in Benue. People's Democratic Party says 2027 polls between Tinubu and Nigerians. Reps Committee finally holds meeting with Ibas. And on the foreign scene, Algeria expels over 1,800 migrants to Niger in mass deportation. Welcome to News Update on Trust Television. My name is Lilian Ogazi. And now to the news. No fewer than 15 persons were abducted on Thursday by gunmen in Gwe West local government area of Benue State. It was gathered that the victims were kidnapped along Adoka Naka Road. Speaking to journalists on the incident, the Secretary of the Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers in charge of high-level unit, Yakubu Onu, confirmed the incident while lamenting the ordeal of transporters plying that road. Onu said 2 vehicles conveying the travelers were involved in the incident. The Te Yoshin in Gwe West, His Royal Highness Daniel Abomshe, also confirmed that 2 commercial vehicles were hijacked and passengers abducted on Naka Adoka Road. The Benue State Police Command Police Public Relations Officer Shewushe Anene is yet to confirm details of the abduction. Meanwhile, the Catholic Archdiocese of Kafanchan has confirmed the release of Reverend Father Ibrahim Amos. The priest was kidnapped from his residence by bandits in the early hours of Thursday. Amos was the parish priest of St. Gerald Kwashi Parish, Kurumin Risga in Kauru local government area of Kaduna State. In a statement, Reverend Father Jacob Shanet, Chancellor of Kafanchan Diocese, said the kidnapped priest returned home unharmed at about 10 p.m. on Thursday. Shanet thanked security agencies and members of the public for their prayers and overwhelming show of concern following the priest's abduction. Some yet to be identified hoodlums have killed a trader at Meete Allah community of Rigasa in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. Now, according to the residents, the assailant attacked the victim Kamal at his shop in the early hours of Thursday morning. Trust TV's Bello Musa completes the report.
Kamal Suleiman was a trader who ran a provision shop at Meete Allah in Rigasa, Kaduna. He was attacked while he was taking a nap at the shop. Some eyewitnesses narrate the ugly incident. We were sleeping when we heard someone shout thieves. We came out and saw them beating Kamal. There was nothing we could do because there were only 2 of us with sticks, and there were about 30 people wearing black dresses.
Him
last night around 11 p.m. We then went to our houses around 2 a.m. We had a bang on the door. We came out shouting for help, but nobody came until they killed him. I think they were thieves. We are shocked and devastated because some of them wore women's hijab to disguise themselves. People were afraid to come out and help him because they were well armed. Relatives of the late Kamal Suleiman say they are still devastated following a gruesome killing of their brother Kamal.
He was
operating the provision store and also doing Okada. I was with him last night and I bought some goods from him. We had a long conversation, then I paid him and left. At about 3 a.m., my neighbor called me saying that thieves were attacking Kamal. I called people close to the shop to help, but they were afraid to come out until I called the leader of the vigilante Aminu Bolo. When he arrived at the scene, they had already injured Kamal, and he died at the Rigasa hospital. Residents expressed concern over the ugly incident and called on the government to fish out the perpetrators.
Gaskiya tsakani ga Allah ni dai da jikina ke nuna mun.
To be honest, we didn't suspect anybody, but I'm sure they were sent to kill him because he was the target. They didn't take anything from the shop. The victim Kamal Suleiman has since been buried, according to Islamic rites in Rigasa, Kaduna State. The Kaduna State Police Command is yet to issue a statement on the incident. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
The People's Democratic Party, PDP, says the 2027 general election is a contest between President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the living conditions of Nigerians. PDP acting national chairman Umar Damagim stated this on Thursday while presenting a certificate of return to the PDP candidate for the Anambra State governorship election, Chief Ezenwafo Jude. He also weighed in on the defection of Delta State Governor Sheriff Obowori and the former governor of the state, Ifeanyi Okowa. On Wednesday, Sheriff Obowori and Okowa and all the cabinet members of Delta State government defected from the PDP to the ruling All Progressive Congress. The PDP boss said the party has been too magnanimous to Delta State and did not deserve the political treatment it received through the defection.
We have started what? From the evolution of the state executive to your emergence as our candidate. I think what you need to do is to go back and consolidate and vote all some and make sure that everyone is part of the vote. With that, I assure you our total support and commitment, all the efforts we are going to put in our fighting. It's very sad and unfortunate. Because to me, if there's any state that should think that way, not there. Because the party is very magnanimous. I thank God that in their message, they didn't say that the party did anything wrong to them, other than good.
Former Senate President Abubakar Bukola Saraki has rubbished the recent high-profile defections from the Delta State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, insisting there is no cause for alarm and the party is entering a phase of rebirth and reorganization. In a statement posted on his X handle, Saraki said those who want to leave the party should leave now, and let those who want to stay concentrate on rebuilding the party and refocusing it to play the role of a viable opposition that will provide a better alternative for the good people of Nigeria. Saraki emphasized the need for a robust opposition in Nigeria's democratic space, warning against the danger of a one-party dominance. He described the current situation as a moment of clarity for the party. He cautioned against externalizing blame, adding that party members should also refrain from blaming the woes on the ruling party. Moving on now, the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, on Thursday received the decampees from the new Nigeria People's Party into the party. The decampees were led by Kano South Senator Kawu Sumaila, who had earlier confirmed his departure from the NNPP on Wednesday. Confirming his defection, Kawu said all politics is local and his primary concern has always been and remains the welfare of his immediate constituency. About a day after the declaration, the lawmakers and other defectors were received by Ganduje, who said the APC winning the next election was sealed. Away from that now, workers of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, have called off the strike after the federal government's intervention. The flight workers had protested over poor working conditions, grounding flights across the country on Thursday. But after a meeting with the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, in Abuja, the strike was called off. The workers were concerned over the non-implementation of the new national minimum wage, ignoring requests to include omitted staff in past allowances and neglecting key training programs, among other matters. Flight activities have been disrupted at local airports following the strike by NIMET workers. Civil servants across the 6 area council in the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) on Thursday staged a mass protest expressing deep frustration over the government's failure to implement the newly approved 70,000 naira minimum wage. Hundreds of aggrieved workers, including primary school teachers, administrative staff, and local government employees, took to the streets, citing not only the non-enforcement of the revised wage, but also several months of unpaid salary arrears as key grievances. The report.
The demonstrators accused FCT Minister Nyesom Wike of backtracking on previously negotiated agreements, pointing to a recurring pattern of unkept promises and a lack of accountability. Despite multiple assurances from both local authorities and the FCT minister, the workers said no concrete steps have been taken to address their concerns. Previous ultimatums and warning strikes have yielded no tangible results, further straining relations between the workforce and area council leadership.
We want to tell the minister that enough of our patience is enough. We need this money paid to the workers. As I speak to you now, we have written several letters and nothing has been done. We want this action completed, and this action will continue on this payment is done to the workers in FCT.
This struggle involves 4 unions: NUT, NAM, that is National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwifery, NOGE, Medical and Health Workers Union. There are 4 unions involved here. These 4 unions exist in the 6 area council in FCT. Our staffs are suffering. Teachers are involved, medical personnel are involved, admin staff are involved. They have not been captured in minimum wage up till now.
As tension continues to rise, union leaders have warned that unless their demands are fully met, including the immediate settlement of all outstanding arrears and the full implementation of the new minimum wage, industrial actions will persist and could intensify in the coming weeks.
The purpose of this protest is to fight for our right. Our right has been stopped since 2023. We are supposed to be paid minimum wage. The council chairman, they are not doing the needful. So they are our problem. We have the chairman, they are insensitive to our plight.
We have been on strike demanding for a series of our entitlements that were not paid. And up to this moment, nothing is done about that. And that is why we are here to protest before the Minister of FCT. The teachers, the NOLGI workers, and every other workers of FCT, particularly at the area council workers, are not paid as is supposed.
They emphasized that workers' patience is wearing thin and called for urgent intervention from higher levels of government to resolve the deadlock and restore normalcy to the affected councils.
This is news update coming to you from Trust TV. Coming up, Nigerians still waiting for fuel price relief. More news from the return this day. You are welcome back. It's still news updates on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our headline stories again. Gunmen kidnapped 15 travelers in Benue. And the People's Democratic Party says 2027 polls between Tinubu and Nigerians. Now moving on to more stories. After 2 failed appearances, the sole administrator of River State, Vice Admiral Iborete Bas, finally appeared before the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on Friday. His previous absences raised eyebrows, but Evans clarified that his non-appearance was not out of disregard for the House, but due to what he described as weighty and urgent demands of stabilizing governance in a state under emergency rule. He also requested more time to prepare a comprehensive briefing citing the disruption caused by the recent Easter holidays. Chairman of the committee, Julius Ivombere, while underscoring the constitutional role of the National Assembly in legitimizing and overseeing the state of emergency declared in Rivers State, noted that his appearance marks a turning point in the committee's efforts to resolve the crisis where answers and actions are still awaited. In response, Ibas acknowledged the committee's authority and apologized for his absence. Moving on, fuel price swings are nothing new in Nigeria, but a brewing price war between the Dangote refinery and the NNPC has brought fresh volatility to the market. Both giant/export price in a bid to outcompete each other, but for many Nigerians, the impact on daily lives is still missing in action. Trust TV's Abubakar Galadima has more.
Despite headline-grabbing announcement of price cut by both Dangote and the NNPC, most Nigerians say nothing has changed, not at the pump, not in the market, and certainly not in transport fares.
The price of fuel still at the filling station is around 940, and the price of fuel that was recorded on the television or was stated was 8 something. I believe that price is just for wholesale market. It does not have any impact on the transportation system at the retail stage. So when they are changing, when they say there's a price change of price of fuel, generally it must be significant.
The changes are not significant in the sense of it affecting the commuters and the transport industry. The changes are only affecting dealers, big dealers of the products.
According to the president of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Abubakar Maigandi, this is to be expected. He said market competition is healthy. Marketers will naturally gravitate towards suppliers offering cheaper rates, potentially stabilizing prices in the long term.
Competition of price is normal because what I wanted people to understand, the fuel now is fully deregulated. And that is the reason why you have been seeing that competition and changes in prices. And it's a good thing to Nigerians because if you sell your product at a higher cost, the masses cannot patronize you. They will go where they may find it at a lower cost. The same thing applies to the other refineries. Any refinery that intended to sell his product at a higher cost, we independent petroleum marketers, we cannot patronize him. The president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he has been doing his best to make sure that to see Nigerian masses are enjoying the benefit of removal of this subsidy.
Nigerians interviewed say fears remain the same. Food prices are still high and fuel stations haven't passed down the supposed savings.
Well, some they sell 925, some they sell 950. I buy 925 for NIPCO. NNPC is selling 935. Some they sell 950. No changes, so no changes. Before now 880 they buy. Now the Congo 900.
Fuel price at the pump had barely moved despite the announcements. Experts says while the Dangote NNPC price roll is shaping the market, other forces are also at play. Global oil prices, exchange rates, and soaring production costs all contribute to the stubborn retail prices. Abubakar Abdullahi Galadima, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And now in business, the World Bank has projected that Nigeria's economy will grow by 3.6% in 2025, building on an estimated expansion of 3.4% in 2024, as key macroeconomic reforms begin to stabilize the business environment. The bank also said Nigeria is now home to 15% of the world's extremely poor people, according to its latest Africa Pulse report released in April 2025. The bank's latest economic forecast, which is contained in the spring 2025 edition of Africa's Pulse, reflects a more optimistic view than that of the International Monetary Fund, which revised Nigeria's 2025 growth rate downward to 3.0% in its April 2025. According to the World Bank, the projected recovery is anchored on improved performance in non-oil sectors, notably financial services, telecommunications, information technology, and a gradual rebound in oil production, which is expected to align with Nigeria's OPEC plus quota. The multilateral lender anticipates that the country's economic growth will further strengthen to 3.8% by 2027, assuming current reforms are sustained. Now, away from Nigeria, Algerian authorities rounded up more than 1,800 migrants and left them at the Nigerian border in a record explosion earlier this month, a Niger-based migrant rights group said on Thursday. Alarm Phone Sahara, which monitors migration across the region, said the migrants were taken to a remote desert area known as Point Zero after being apprehended in Algerian cities. The group's national coordinator, Abdul Aziz Chehu, said on Thursday that 1,845 migrants without legal status in Algeria had been counted, arriving in Niger's border of Asamakar after the April 19th mass expulsion. Chehu said the figure does not include those who may attempt to return north into Algeria. The mass deportation comes amid rising tensions between Algeria and its southern neighbors, all now led by military juntas that oust elected governments previously aligned with Algiers. And in sports, the Nigerian Football Federation has launched a crackdown on referees who may be involved in match fixing as the country's football leagues reach diverse stages. An internal memo signed by the Secretary of the NFF Refereeing Development Committee, Mohammed Aminu, the Federation warned all referees in the Nigerian Premier Football League, Nigerian National League, Nigerian Women's Football League, and the Nationwide League One, which kicked off on Wednesday, to uphold fairness and protect the reputation of the game. The NFF fears that clubs, their agents, and other football stakeholders may attempt to influence referees in order to gain an unfair advantage. According to the NFF, the new monitoring committee will operate independently, with members deployed across all match centers to observe, report any actions that go against the rules or damage the image of refereeing. With that, we've come to the end of News Update here on Trust TV. Do not forget you can follow us across all our social media platforms or join our live stream on YouTube for more news, more programs, and more documentaries. My name is Lilian Ogazi. Thanks for watching and bye for now.